leather gloves, we're slapping in hams. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer that circle the lips? Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives
Live.
here on Strong Island Television in Paradise Studios in beautiful downtown Massapequa, Nueva York.
Yes, brought to you by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
Michael Barasch, thank you for your sponsorship and your confidence in us. He's a good man. He will be at the 11/22 gala. He's the only one who's speaking. The only one who's speaking.
Oh, the gala.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is when, John? November 22nd?
November 22nd. No, Bobby, if you have the flyer, we'll throw it right up now.
I know, I have to get my costume ready.
It's going to be a fun night. Hi, Patrick. It's Johnny Plug time. We're going to have a great show. Good food. There it is.
Look at that flyer.
We got to add Bridget's picture. I may be bouncing Jack Clooney and maybe bouncing him out.
Why?
We'll see.
How can you bounce Jack Clooney? You're cutting him?
Yeah, he hasn't had a transplant surgery in 4 years. Enough.
People have bought tickets. They're all expecting to see him. There could be
nobody bought
people.
tickets to see Jack yet. Jack may not be able to make it because Jack is our hero, and he's becoming a paramedic with the FDNY and doesn't have his schedule yet. So
he's got to tell them that he's got the gala on the 22nd.
They don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear that nonsense.
That's crazy. He's a big star.
But listen, that's a big deal to become a paramedic with the FDNY.
Yes.
You know, especially with Jack's intelligence, he still got through.
Oh, paramedic.
It's amazing. Paramedic.
Oh, that's big.
When he sent it out, I thought he was becoming a doctor. I don't know the way he worded it. And I'm telling everyone, I put a fan, we're so proud of Jack. He's going to medical school, you know. And then he's like, hey,
paramedic
stupid, hey, idiot. I'm just.
Paramedic's a big deal.
That's a lot of study.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I was only an EMT. Paramedic was like a lot more.
Oh, tons more. You can give medication, right? You can give IVs.
I think that the clinical time they need is longer than the whole EMT course. Just the clinical part, I think, is long. It's huge.
Yeah, you can put an IV in, right? I think.
Yes.
That paramedic you can. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah. You can't write prescriptions.
Well, I could put an
only
IV.
a doctor can.
But you don't need prescriptions in the ambulance to get to the hospital, right?
I just wasn't trained on how to put an IV in. I could do it.
Did you ever call an ambulance before? Before? That is the worst feeling. But you know what? Even the volunteers, people, and I've said this on the show before, call 911. My son is, I don't want people in my living. I don't want to bother them. They're waiting to help. That's why they took the job or volunteered. That's why they're there. You know what I mean? Call them.
I've had to call an ambulance more than once for myself. It's not fun, but I do it because
that's why. And you know, some people call them too much. We're not gonna. You call them and they come and my father has called an ambulance and they said, "Yeah, you're good." You know, and they've left.
Yeah, but they'd rather come and tell you you're good than that.
Yeah, they don't mind doing that. So last weekend we were off. We were on hiatus again, and
hiatus. Isn't that in Massachusetts?
That's hiatus.
Hiatus.
It's hiatus is the way it's pronounced.
I believe so. Yeah,
I knew that.
Hyenas.
I exactly knew that.
There's a hyena with a
hyenas.
large rectum and anus on his shoulders. Columbia County Hazmat. Thank you. Johnny L went up last weekend to do a little teaching with the boys, right, and the girls.
Where's Columbia County?
Columbia County, Gant, New York is where the class was. I'd say it's about an hour and 15 minutes crossing the New York City line up there.
Columbia County?
Columbia County up in the Catskills.
I never heard of Columbia County.
Yeah.
Well, it's up there and not way up there. And
probably driven through.
I went up there and I gave them all my knowledge.
On what?
On hazardous material stuff. It was a 15-minute day.
We're kind of colleagues.
We are now kind of colleagues.
Why? What are you doing?
Well, I'm teaching a little bit,
He's
working with
teaching.
Safety Sarah.
And I am
And she's
her chief organizational officer for her company.
Who's
Chief
Safety Sarah?
Organizational officer. And how many organizational people do you have underneath you, Chief?
I have none. None.
What is Safety Sarah for?
Sarah does
Those of us
safety
who don't
classes.
know.
safety and compliance training.
All different kinds of training.
all sort
Okay.
of safety.
And I teamed up with her now because
She's actually going to be on your show next week.
and Safety Sarah's coming in next week.
Oh, and I'm on this week. I would have to see that.
Well, Safety Sarah requested that. She said, "Oh, Santos on this week."
Well, I never heard of her until
So thank you,
just now.
Columbia
I'm
County.
into safety. Remember Sammy Safety was in the tech? You would know. He was in the textbooks
Was it?
in school. Sammy Safety says. And he would have like a little thing.
I don't know. I don't think I paid.
You don't remember Sammy Safety? He had a little excerpt, like whenever you would talk about doing something, well, you know,
In
like
your
shop,
On what show is that? On what
science
show?
shop.
Yeah,
all the
I know what you're
classes.
talking about.
Like you're working with chemicals. Sammy
Yeah.
Safety always
Yeah.
says, "Be careful."
Hey, look at this. Bobby moved us. Bobby runs the shtick around here.
Yeah.
Runs this place, and he moved us to the other side, a new studio,
But they
so
don't,
to
they
speak.
don't know. It's all the same to them.
But no, it looks better.
Oh, it looks
I think,
better?
I think
Let me
so.
see. I
See,
can't
and we
see.
felt like we look better in your old spot because we have a little more room now. So
Yeah, no, you guys look good over there,
That
but
was
this is
good.
good for my backdrop. The old hazmat squad
But
288.
people don't see, like, they don't see that there's 5 studios here. They only see us. This is in TV Magic Land.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
but-
big deal.
Yes, but it looks good. Thank
there's
you,
a lot of
Bobby.
stuff happening.
Thank you very much.
A lot
Look,
of stuff.
You
There's
can
like
see
5
all my
studios
trinkets
here.
now. All my
Yes,
little
you love your
trinkets.
trinkets.
Oh, is this table bigger?
See, now you can
It's a big
stand
table. I
up
think so.
the life vac.
Yeah,
Right?
I you know, I've had things
Or
that
not.
the life vac is unbelievable. Please look it up. One in every home. But people have looked at the life vac sometimes
It works.
standing up and saying, "What is that?"
Yeah, that's why I laid it back
It,
down.
Yeah,
it works.
yeah.
I actually intentionally ate something and started to choke just to see if it worked.
If it worked, and it worked,
worked.
right?
Yeah.
Good
Now I
job.
got to buy another one, but
Good
they're
job,
good.
Einstein.
They're good. Yeah, they're good.
Now you are so smart. I can't even make fun of your intelligence ever. The two, look what I'm sitting between. These brains stood out in the middle.
Yeah, but you're a
Wow.
brilliant hazmatician.
Brilliant. I am not. Here's the deal.
First of all, that's
I-
not. You don't want to. In all the movies, that I never
Yeah.
saw the fire experts say, "I really don't know what to do."
No, that's
They
not what I'm
always
saying.
know what to do. Those
That's
guys.
not what I'm saying.
Paul Newman.
I am smart
No,
enough.
Steve
to,
McQueen was the fire chief.
I am smart enough to know that most times I'm not the smartest one in the room. You have these instructors who get up there, get on a pedestal, PowerPoint, start spewing out stuff that's going over some people's head, right? But spewing it all out. I get up there and I feel the crowd. Oh, you're a bomb expert? Hey, what was that? Bombs? Hey, Joe, can you answer that question for me? I facilitate.
Right.
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
I facilitate.
Which makes you a good teacher because that's the way people learn.
Right.
What is right? I always say to guys in the one instructor methodology class I was involved with that I taught, I always say to the instructors, guys, you're very smart. What's your job? For them to learn, not for you to tell them how much you know,
Yep.
Mhm.
right?
Nobody wants to be lectured for
No.
however many
No.
hours.
Right.
And I have the
Boring.
record. I have taught now 87 classes, and I have never been the smartest one in the room.
But in
I'm
those
usually ranking like down 11 or 12.
in those disaster movies, there's always one guy
One guy.
that has like knowledge of like the most obscure thing. Like if anybody knows what to
That's
do,
you.
if a cruise ship hits a bridge with nuclear materials being transported, it's him. How many times does a cruise ship hit a bridge with
Oh,
nuclear
I'll
materials
tell you-
and an oil tanker?
I'll tell you a funny.
underneath?
I'll tell you a funny story.
But there's always a guy like that.
There
in
is.
movies.
I'll tell you a funny story.
What?
Dennis Scalzo, lost on 9/11 from Hazmat One, the house in the picture. Such a smart guy in so many different areas, right? But Dennis had so many different jobs.
Mhm.
Okay. And I think on the show, we've had his wife, we've had his children. His daughter is in Ireland right now studying to be a doctor.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Darcy. Oh, no, Darcy is in Long Island. She works at a hairdressing place. And the other daughter, I'm not sure what she, anyway, great family. So we used to, Dennis, thing was, he was a pilot. He was a plumber at one time. He was this, he was that, right? Anything, Dennis knew how to do it, whether he had a job. So now we're taking a course upstairs in the nuclear power plant. Hazmat goes up to learn a lot about radiation and go to this nuclear power plant.
Right.
So the guy gets up there, the guy who knows all the nuclear stuff, and he says, blah, blah, blah. Has anybody ever worked in a nuclear power plant? And Dennis is all behind us, right? And everybody had this same like, no freaking way. And everybody turned around. He's Dennis. Get out of here,
He
Dennis!
worked in a nuclear power plant?
In the military. When he was in the military. He worked in the nuclear power
the Navy, all the ships are nuclear power.
So like, get out of here, Dennis. Now
you know that stuff, radiation stuff?
I know enough about radiation to teach a class of people who know nothing about radiation. I'm not a radiation expert. You know, when you teach a hazmat class, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right. You're not getting into depth with any specific topic.
But you have detectors that can detect radiation?
I don't have them at home. I do have some radiation sources in my house that I use for my class. In fact,
what's that?
They're in my phone right now. No.
What's a radiation source?
They're little sources that you get hits off of with the meters. So when you're doing a drill,
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it's actual radiation?
It's actual radiation,
but in safe amounts.
But it's safe amounts. Yes, no, definitely safe amounts, but above background. Background radio. I don't want to bore people, but there's background. There's radiation all over the place. No, there's radiation all over the place. You know, you're going to get background radiation if you turned on a meter.
Oh, there's radiation everywhere.
Yeah, but these sources are, let's say, 5 times background. Nothing that's going to hurt you, but something when you're running a drill,
I see.
The meter's going to pick it up. And then you could look at the person and go, what's going on? Like, let them tell you what's going on.
Gotcha.
Is that too much? You know, yeah, very interesting. I love teaching stuff. I love talking.
I bet you get glowing reviews.
Oh, I need an endoscopy.
I fell flat.
Need an endoscopy.
What was that noise?
I don't know.
I need an endoscopy have to do with? I bet you get glowing reviews.
Nothing.
Funny, by the way.
Thank you.
Nothing.
You're welcome.
We're transitioning into the next topic as Johnny L does.
Okay.
There's no buffer. There's no
segue.
It's not a 2-hour show.
That's what I love about this show. It's just
it's just nonsense.
It's like on autopilot.
Have you ever had an endoscopy? I've had 5 colonoscopies, not an endoscopy.
I've had the endoscopy.
Yeah. You?
I've had one,
And the colonoscopy.
Yeah, I went last week with my wife. She had one. HIPAA! I shouldn't have said that. HIPAA!
I'm getting my first colonoscopy ever in January.
Punch it up, sister.
Not looking forward to the prep.
You know what? If you want Johnny L
I don't like the prep.
to sit with you during the prep,
I don't think you want to be around her.
You don't want to be around her.
I will be there for support. I could sit with you for a few hours.
I had a colonoscopy.
I'm not going to sit with you in the bathroom on a stool.
And an endoscopy at the same time.
It's like a rotisserie chicken.
Right. So you know what I told her? I said, do me a favor. If you're going to reuse the tube,
right,
do the endoscopy first.
Right.
It's like those thermometers, oral or rectal. Guess what? Once a rectal thermometer, always a rectal thermometer.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Why would they make two?
You get clean it off a little
two
water.
Different colors marked in braille. Oral, rectal, never mixed.
My kids would never know what that is. By the time I had kids, they had all the different fancy schmancy thermometers.
Now it goes on your forehead.
In the ear, on the forehead, under the arm.
Give me a good mercury glass one any day of the week.
If mercury breaks, if you have an old mercury thermometer, we're getting back into the hazmat, do not use your vacuum to vacuum it up.
Why?
Because the bag is not tight enough. The mercury will go through your bag, and now your place will have mercury all over the joint.
Wow. How do you clean up mercury?
Mercury vacuum. Call the hazmat team. 911.
Is mercury not dangerous?
Should you
if you're breathing it in.
Wait a minute. Should you really, if you break a mercury thermometer, you should really call 911?
Yes.
What if you break it in your mouth?
Yes.
Then you should go to the hospital.
You got to go to the hospital.
Oh yeah. Yes. You should call 911. We're gonna go to break me. Yes. You should call 911 only because there's no way for you to clean it up, and they will send somebody, not lights and sirens. Ultimately, you'll get somebody that'll come with a mercury vacuum.
So those mercury, only the glass ones, the other ones with the digital.
They don't make them anymore. They don't make them anymore.
But there's no mercury in them.
No.
Okay.
But grandma may have one. Grandma.
I think my mother has one.
I think I have one at home too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Quick pickleball. Can we talk pickleball for 30 seconds, Bobby? Now, good catch. Laughter saves lives. Pickleball team came in 11th place out of 20. We were in the playoffs in the C bracket against 3 other teams. We went 2-1. The other 2 teams went 2-1. One team went 0-3. We were bounced out because our differential was tighter, but we beat the team that won it, and we beat the team last week that won the B bracket.
Nice job.
Unofficially, we were the B champs.
I don't know what any of that means. But
Neither
good
do I,
job.
but we did
Neither
good.
does the audience.
We are going to go to a break, and we'll be back with Jim Preston.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
How about that?
And we're back.
We are back.
Laughter saves lives. Here go live! Wow! I just threw it over the top. You didn't know that was coming. A laughter kind of bang like this. You just sat there. You knew it was coming.
I didn't know it was coming.
No. Oh, I'm going to be unicorn, as my granddaughter says on Halloween. Unicorn.
Who?
Unicorn.
Oh, I thought you said
I'm going to be
Yukon.
sitting here next week looking like an ass. I'm wearing it the whole friggin' show. You know,
next week is the Halloween show?
You're a
Yes.
good grandfather. That's why.
Oh, wow. Next week is Halloween.
Halloween,
next
yeah.
Thursday.
I'm going trick or treating. I got the whole deal.
I usually am on the Halloween episode. How come I'm on this week? I like
Oh,
being on
well, come in with a costume. We'll put you on.
Maybe I'll come in with a
If you
costume.
come in with a costume,
I already have a costume
If-
on. We're
if
doing our Halloween
anybody-
episode.
am I allowed to have people in the studio, Bob?
Yes, that's why the chairs are
Right?
set up like that.
If anybody wants to come in next week, message me with a costume. Maybe I'll buy a little food. You can come in and watch the show, and we'll get you. We'll judge. We'll get you a free Laughter
costume
Saves Lives
contest.
T-shirt and a half price ticket to the gala. Is that
You know what I'm going
That's
as
good.
for Halloween?
what?
Maverick. I got the flight jacket. And
Surprise.
And my friend goes, you have the exact patches from the movie. I said, I don't screw around.
I thought you want to say bye.
I have the exact my Maverick flight jacket. All the patches are exactly from the movie.
You got to wear a girdle.
A girdle. What?
You got to look like Maverick in the
No, I'm fat
the
Maverick
hunk.
after he retires.
Fat Maverick.
I'm Maverick after he lets himself go. I drive a minivan. I chase the F-14s in a Subaru.
God.
Maverick
Yeah.
after a cruise.
After a cruise.
There you go. Maverick after
Yeah,
a
I'm
cruise.
retired Maverick. Retired Maverick.
Shout out to the Holbrook Fire Department.
Yes.
What a show.
Oh, what a good
I hate to say that for him because he would love he's on next week's show.
I'm on next
I already put him.
you really put me on the show already?
Of course. What am I gonna say?
I'll
Yes,
email you.
yes,
I'll email you.
email me. Email
I'll
me.
email you.
Let me tell you something. Carla Okerson canceled on us. She double booked with Miss Carla. But what a pleasure watching Roseanne get up there. I've watched her develop from when she was a really stinky comic. That lasted a long time. And now she's gotten strong. She was wonderful.
Thank you.
They loved you. You were
had a
so
great time.
funny. You know, it was great. And then what a freaking show. As Johnny L says, he always says, I did my job.
Did my job.
Did my job. Not going to say I killed or I did great. I did my job. Then we had on Billy Gaia. Oh my God. Go see this guy.
He's amazing.
This guy is going to be going places with comedy. He's different. That's why. Different delivery. A little dirty, a little blue, but funny.
Very funny.
They loved him.
I just worked with him on a show. He's amazing.
Amazing. Rich Walker. We all know Rich. Pro.
Amazing. Pro.
Rich,
And Joe Pontillo.
Great. It was a great show.
I haven't worked with Pontillo in a long time, but his videos online are genius.
I have to say something.
Oh, he's brilliant.
I have to tell you something. Every time I put Joe on a show, he says, please don't put Santo on the show. So that's why you haven't worked. I don't know why.
I don't think you would say that.
You don't think so?
We subscribe to each other's YouTube channel.
Oh, all right.
We're very close.
All right. Well, maybe he's threatened. Maybe he thinks.
No, he's brilliant. I love Joe.
And you know what? At the gala, you should be doing an imitation of me. You should be perfecting the Johnny L. And somebody brings me up, but it's you, and you could go up.
I play you.
You play me. Let's talk to Delakis. Delakis does me perfectly.
You know, I've never
Walker
seen
does
Delakis
pretty good too.
Who?
Rich.
Rich
does a good. I've never seen.
Oh, good. All right.
Delakis is amazing, but you know who does you the best?
Who?
Pat Marone.
Pat Marone does.
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
He does you great.
We're gonna bring in from the Bart's Brigade. Bruce Bartz is on the. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Well, we can't pronounce words either. That was part of the problem. What a wonderful, wonderful night. Thursday night, York, Pennsylvania, the Bruce Bartz Foundation?
It's Bart's Brigade, the Trent Bartz Foundation. Trent's my son's name.
Bartz Foundation. A lot of love in the room, brother, in memory of his son. You always get up there and you have the opportunity. You know, I was once told if somebody's lost and we're still mentioning his name, he's never forgotten. And you just do a beautiful job of bringing your son into it and talking about him to start off the night. And it was just a fun night.
I'm ecstatic. We had a blast. We did. This is our second year, and you know, Claudia, Joe, yourself, Tom, and the crowd just loved him. I heard not one the only negative thing I heard was Double Barrel ran out of the big potatoes, and everybody wanted to put on like 40 pounds because the potatoes were like this big. They were huge. Remember that? And but other than that, it was great. You know, and like I said when I started the show, I said I come with a warning label because I'm going to tell you my story and I make people cry, and I did.
You do. Yep.
But then you guys made them laugh, and it was such a great day for everybody because we had firefighters, we had cops, we had mental health professionals, we had healthcare professionals, and those are the people that really need that laughter saves lives type atmosphere for their own mental health. Yeah, so it was an awesome night.
Yeah, Tom says to me, "Oh, how do you follow that?" You know, he was so emotional. I go, "That's what Laughter Saves Lives is all about." There's a lot of love in the room. There's a lot of heart in the room. And there's stories that are going to move you. But the bottom line is we're remembering them through laughter for the next hour and a half, hour and 45. We're going to bring up their name. We're going to talk about them. We're maybe going to cry a little bit. But, man, then we're going to bring it home. And those comics, Claudia was wonderful. Conti was wonderful. And the Dario did a great job. He's coming on tonight, Tom. He's coming on tonight. Yeah. We wanted to find out if we got to get charged for the hotel rooms. You know, we had some party going back there. Some party.
How much?
I'm still waiting for the bill.
I think we were all asleep in 10 minutes. Claudia was with her husband. The Dario went right up to his room. I watched the Met game in the lobby for a little while, and then I went up. But it was a great night. Great night. How did you guys do? Don't give me an amount, but were you happy with the night?
We surpassed our goal.
Oh, good.
We surpassed our goal. We had some awesome sponsors, and I hope I could, WellSpan Health. So that took care of the mental health part of it. And then we had Toyota of York, car dealership. We had MedEd, who's our power company. You know, and here's the thing is I told MedEd, you will sponsor us, or I'm going to go around cutting power cords and stuff like that.
There you go. That's nice.
Overtime.
That's the kind of nice
way to get it.
See why I like this guy? Yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man. We got to mention Megan.
Megan, I can't. So because of you guys, Megan is now my events director of Bart's Brigade, and without Megan, it doesn't happen. It really. She just, you know, from last year's show, she came to me and she says, Bruce, I not only love your mission, but I love putting events together, and I love that. And she had a lot of people and a lot of family in the military. So she says, can I be? And she didn't finish the sentence. And I'm like, yes, you're now my events director.
Yes, so. I mean, I'm always pulling these guys for help all the time because I'm not smart enough to do this on my own. But I felt so bad for Megan because, as you know, the night before, and I'm an idiot, I'm sitting there going, shoot, I don't want to look through all the emails where that hotel room is again. Hey, Megan, where are the hotel rooms? And there was a long pause, right? There was a long pause, and she goes, what are you talking about? And I go, the hotel rooms. She goes, oh, I thought you booked them. I felt so bad for her.
Well, the long pause was because she was texting me, cussing you out like a bitch.
You know what, though? It all worked out.
It
and
did.
When I got there, I gave her a big hug, and I said, I'm sorry. You know, I gave you that stress because I really didn't mean to. You know, I was just.
We should do a documentary of you behind the scenes running a show and going to a show.
I'm a mess
with the Wawa and all the thing because you're always like at 100.
Oh, did you see the Wawa video on? Are you on Facebook?
Yeah. I saw the Wawa video. In fact, I put it on my Facebook.
Oh, did you?
I put it on. I transferred it to my Facebook page, and next year. So. Next year is my Trent's 10th year anniversary. He'll be gone 10 years on August 19th.
Right.
And then September is Mental Health Month. So next year we're going to have just all kinds of stuff going on, and we're going to get some radio stations involved. So when you talk about doing that live video coming down or that live talk, we're going to get that working. It's going to
get that date soon. I'll get the hotel rooms then right away.
I've already booked them for next year. I don't want to put Megan through it again.
And we have to have her on one night. She really wanted to come on tonight. Yeah. And I was stuck and she couldn't do tonight, so I had to get you on. I didn't mean in a bad way.
No, but that's your loss. That's your loss because she's so much more dynamic than I am. I'm just a pain in the butt type kind of guy.
Friend. You are, and you don't want to hear this word. You are a hero, all right? For what you did for a living, you were a police officer. But here's why. You had a huge tragedy in your life. Yeah. You lost your son. Horrible, horrible, horrible. You dug yourself out to start this wonderful charity in memory of him, and you're going to help so many people. I'm very proud to know you. We're very honored to be a small part. You are a hero. You're doing great work, my friend.
I
know. I made you cry. I'm sorry, but I had to say it.
You returned the favor, didn't you?
Yeah. So next year we gotta have these two on the show. They're here for the interview. I cannot put them on the show now. You'll love both of them, and we'll add somebody else.
And you heard him. I'm not as terrible as I used to be.
Yeah, she's much funnier than she was 2 months ago.
Listen, I know I'm not supposed to come in, but Bruce, thank you for the craziness. Apologize for it. You and I have to talk because I also use this velvety voice. I work for iHeartRadio, so I will handle getting the radio stations on board for you.
I have no words, man. That's awesome.
And to be totally honest, I don't know if that's a great idea because now, to be totally honest, Butch was in charge of the hotel rooms. I just didn't want to mention it on the air.
I was in charge. Right.
I'm kidding. Well, my friend,
we gotta say sorry for Megan too, because you gotta understand me. What happens before an event? I go freaking running around and I'm like ready to tear heads off, right? I'm texting Megan every like 20 minutes for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And she's like, Bruce, shut up. I got this. Bruce, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. But anyway.
I'll be doing that to Roseanne too and Amy.
In November.
And a big thank you to Amy Solomon, who does so much of the stuff behind the scenes for Laughter Saves Lives. She's wonderful. All right, so we will talk to you soon.
I'm going to stick around till Tom comes on. I'm going to listen to Tom because he's great.
All right, yeah, and I may bring you in to say hello. And also, if you can make it up here 11:12, we have some hotel rooms blocked out if you need.
11:22.
And there he is.
11:22.
11:22. There he is.
Dario.
Hang out. I'll bring you back with Tom. Let me just bring on our other guest, and since he's been waiting, we'll bring you right back with Tom in a minute. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
We want a break for light back?
No, you know what? Forget the break right now. We're running behind, so just let's bring Jim on.
Jim, all right, good idea. Ladies and gentlemen, from Connecticut, an old friend of mine, big 9/11 supporter, and a retired firefighter himself, Jim Preston, is here with us again. One of our favorite guests.
Oh, love the mustache.
Jim.
How are you guys?
You get the left. You ever watch Saturday Night Live when somebody's on 5 times, they get the jacket? You get the Laughter Saves Lives jacket now. You've been on 5 times.
Sounds good, man.
It's the cheap
Proud to
jacket.
be here.
Not the
Glad
really
to be
good
here,
one.
bud.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you for being back. You were here on 9/11 with us to talk about one of our brothers, but I brought you on tonight because you did something after 9/11. Oh, first of all, I don't want to forget, what is the name of your cupcake business and what part of Connecticut is that in?
We're in Willimantic, Connecticut, and the name of our shop is A Cupcake for Later. We make gourmet cupcakes and cakes and some candied bacon, a lot of good stuff.
You gotta send some down. We can taste it on the air one day. Did you bring any? I said bring some cupcakes.
I want to be on that show.
No, I didn't, man.
You didn't?
Santa wants that. He wants on that show.
I want to be on the cupcake show.
The cupcake show. We should have a show just tasting stuff, different. And I'll go into a diabetic coma. And
I could taste yours, and I'll let you know how it is.
How's that, John? So after 9/11, did you go with your wife, or was it just you?
No, my wife came. My wife goes everywhere. She spent 20 years going back down to the city with me every year, standing up on the west side there with the guys at the memorial doing the service. And then after 20 years, I kind of thought, 20 years is put into going there. I wanted to do something different. And I heard about this group that I told you about, called Flags on the 48. And there's a group in New Hampshire. And after September 11, 2001, the guy and one of his buddies, they climbed to the top of one of the mountains in New Hampshire, and they flew a flag from the top of the mountain in honor of all the guys we lost. And ever since then, they've been doing it every year. So they climb the 48 mountains in New Hampshire that are over 4,000 feet high.
Wow.
And they climb up, they raise a flag on all of these mountains, and they fly it for 2 hours, and they all stand there, they fellowship and they talk. I got to get up and say some things, tell the guys how important it was and how much it means to everybody, because everybody knows we're still losing guys every week. And it was a pretty incredible thing. I got to tell you, it was probably one of the most challenging things that I've done since my injury.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 4 hour hike up and about a 4.5 hour hike back down. And it's not like a trail. It's like there are rocks. You're like walking on rocks, big boulders and rocks, climbing over stuff. It was just amazing. There was people from everywhere. And every year they come and they climb all 48 of these mountains. And it's just amazing. There's retired cops, there's firemen, there's just everything. Everybody got a hold of this thing, and it kind of went crazy. And now it's every year it just gets bigger and bigger.
Do they do it? They do it on the 11th?
No, they do it on the closest Saturday to the 11th. That way they can get enough people that'll be able to get there and be able to do it.
Right.
So this year it was the Saturday after the 11th. we headed up there to do it, and it was pretty amazing. We'll do it next year too. We're going to try to find a different mountain this time.
Right. I have like some of the dopey questions, like what did you eat? Like what did you guys bring up to eat?
Well, I loaded the backpack, and I that pack probably weighed about one of our SCBAs would have weighed.
Oh yeah.
Would have weighed, and I did that kind of purposely. And but just bring a bunch of granola bars and stuff, and a lot of water. It's enough stuff to snack and keep you going while you're for the trip. And
right,
it went good though. But there was a lot of tears and a lot of smiles, a lot of happiness, and a lot of people that were a part of it. And it's just like I always say, man. No matter where you are, if you talk about them, there's somebody close by that's gonna be affected by it. And that's just another part of it. Is what it was.
Must have been some experience. You guys have any questions for Jim? Because I don't want to keep talking.
I was going to ask what they brought up in the backpack, but you already asked that.
Well, my next question,
you bring a lot of water in.
A lot of stuff that I didn't need to bring. I tell you that, because it ended up being a really warm day, and everybody was talking about you got to be prepared because the wind is crazy. Everything could change. Well, I've got cold weather stuff. I got rain gear. I got everything in my bag, but I didn't need any of it.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful, beautiful day, like you can see in those pictures.
It looked really beautiful.
You're 4 hours away from
a bathroom.
Your car. It's like it's.
Oh, I didn't even think about the bathroom.
The bathroom.
Well, there's a lot of trees.
That's easy for the men.
Yeah,
that's easy for the men.
Until you get certain because we're above the tree line. You get to a certain point and there's no more trees. It's just mountain and rocks and.
Really?
And when if you look at those pictures, you can see there's not a tree up there. You're above the tree line.
You know what? I never even thought of that before.
Well,
why
from the top there is a 360 degree view.
Like I got to look at my science and why do trees stop growing at a certain height?
Well, if it's all rock, how are they going to embed in the?
Don't know, man.
Is that the reason? Because it's
rock.
I couldn't tell you. There's I think it's probably right around 4,000 feet or so. The tree line that's
we gotta look that up. That's an interesting.
And there's just little brush and stuff on the ground.
So I originally met Jim at a comedy show. Somebody told him about me, and we did it for the Volley Fire Company he used to belong to. Is that correct? That's how we met.
Well, no, we met at your firehouse.
Oh, we did.
I think it was at the end of 2001 or 2002 when I was up there, and we met at your firehouse. You gave me one of your T-shirts, and
did I charge you, or I gave it to you?
You gave it to me.
Oh, thank God! Thank God! I was going to say cheap bastard. Thank God! All right.
But yeah, that's the way we met, and we've been friends ever since.
Well, you're an inspiration, my friend. You're an inspiration.
But we did that show. We did a show. We raised enough to buy 10 air purifiers for responders at that show.
Wow.
And it was a good time.
Awesome. Anything else you're going to be doing coming up?
Right now we're getting to the end of our busy season. We do a lot of fairs, a lot of different stuff. We got a trailer for the shop and everything. So it was winding down. We don't have nothing really planned right away, but we're working on next year, planning already for a September 11th trip to New Hampshire.
It's say the business again.
A cupcake for later in Willimantic, Connecticut.
Cupcake for later in Willimantic.
Come see it.
Willimantic, Connecticut, right?
Yep.
You don't do anything by mail, do you?
No, we don't ship anything. Most of our stuff is with fresh whipped cream frostings and whipped cream cheese. All stuff that we can freeze them, but our stuff is like a come and get it and eat it now.
And how far are you? Because I'm getting in the car.
We're just under 3 hours. We're about 240 miles from. Well, we're 240 miles from Lower Manhattan. That's all I always.
That's worth
think
it.
of.
One thing that I wanted to say, besides all the great stuff you do, that is hands down the best firefighter mustache I have ever seen.
Well, I'll tell you about the mustache. December 3rd, 1999, we lost 6 firefighters in Worcester, Mass. Everybody that's a fireman knows about it.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of trips up there to see the guys and when we were doing the search. And one day I was sitting next to this old retired guy from Worcester on the bumper of an engine, and he had this mustache. And I started growing this mustache.
You cut it off of him and pasted it on your face?
Almost. You know, I started growing it every year for December 3rd when I went up there for the anniversary.
That's
and
awesome.
then a couple of years later, we had September 11th. So it never left after that.
We got to get you on Chicago Fire or something with that mustache.
It's awesome. Are we going to bring in Bruce?
We're gonna go to our commercial, our LifeVac commercial, and then we will bring on Tom as soon as we're done with this handsome fella.
Mr. Jim, thank you so much for taking the time.
God bless you all, man. I love you.
Always a pleasure.
Keep saying their names, man.
Jim Preston.
Love you, John.
Love you too, buddy.
Bye, brother.
Always a pleasure having Jim on. He's a good man. All right, so we're gonna go to break, and we're gonna be back with the Dario, and we're gonna put Bruce back in.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that can save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
Hey, we're back. Live to say live. Pal, here we go. All right,
that
so
was a short one.
Let's bring in our comic for tonight. One of the funniest guys I have ever met. Tom DeDario's here tonight.
Hello, guys. How are you, Johns?
Hello, Tom.
And Roseanne, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm not bad at all. We had such a great time Thursday at the show. I got to tell you, John, I appreciate it so much, man. You represented Laughter Saves Lives really well.
Oh, that's very, very kind of you to say. Very kind of you to say. We had an interesting car ride, and we still enjoyed ourselves.
Wow.
We did. No, we did, John. Yeah. Can I drive next time? Ooh, maybe we can. Wait. I have an idea.
Yeah.
We could negotiate a price based on me driving and based on you driving.
Okay. Be the same price.
And
now take me driving.
Tom, what happened on the trip?
Well, here's why, Tommy. He's being very nice. We both blamed each other. He blamed me, and I blamed him.
John, let Tom tell the story, please.
Oh, let me tell the story.
No, let Tommy tell the story, and then you can argue with him.
Tom will rebut.
What is the story?
I'm trying to tell it, but he kept saying it.
I want it the other way around. Let Tom tell, and you rebut.
All right, you tell the part that's not true, and then I'll rebut.
All right, we were driving, and we were in the right lane. And
that's it. Let me finish now. No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go.
Let Tom tell the story.
We were in the right lane, and there were old ladies passing us, giving us the finger. Driving with John was like
70 is not old.
John, every lane that exited, John was in that lane. And then all the cars were zooming by, and John was in the exit lane. And I'm, John, do we need to get off here? No, Tom. I'm like, okay, so maybe we should be going with the other cars that are going. And then he would get over there and go.
You done?
And I want to talk to your daughter. I really want to talk to your daughters.
No, you're not allowed.
So he was in the exit only lane where it says exit only, but you weren't exiting. You're supposed to continue.
Well, right. You know when cars jam up,
yeah.
Like go to the right and it gets jammed up on the right. That's why people drive on the left.
Is a left lane?
There is a left. Next time we do a gig together, I'm going to introduce you to the left
You are
lane.
not supposed to drive in the left lane.
Unless
The
you're
left
passing.
lane is only for passing.
It's everybody. So what am I to do?
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah,
All right,
but
now
we
Tom,
really don't pay attention in New York. We drive wherever we want.
I agree with Tom. Is that when I'm talking, and Tommy and I were talking a lot back and forth, which is what I love driving with this man, because we have conversations. We have serious conversations. We have fun. It's not like you're driving with a comic and the whole time it's got to be yuck, yuck, yuck. I'm writing this joke. What do you think? You know, we have some nice conversations. We were in the right-hand lane, which I shouldn't have been so much. And we passed the exit on the New Jersey Turnpike. So the exits are only once every 50 friggin' miles, right?
Yeah.
So as we passed it, I go, oh, shoot, we just passed the exit.
You don't have
and he
the
says,
GPS?
oh, something like, you should have been watching. Or what? I go, you're in the car too. You see the GPS. It's just as much your fault.
You know what John said? John said, this is what John said. When we ended up in the middle of Philadelphia, John said, wow, you shouldn't have been talking to me.
Wait, but we had to go this way, right? So we missed the exit for this way. The next exit was construction enclosed. The next exit, we had to go through the city of Philly. We were going up the steps, rocky steps with the freaking car. If we didn't make turning go around.
Yes, and you know, I love that John was talking. Like, I like sharing conversation and both of us talking. But it just coincidentally that John was talking for a while, and then I said, "Hey, that's cool," and he missed the exit, and it was my fault.
You picked the wrong 18 seconds to talk. I told you. An hour and a half into the trip, you have to pick that 18 seconds to start talking.
Where was the GPS in all this?
It was right in front of us. It was right on the.
Well, you know, no, but John's a GPS doubter when he drives. He drives and he's looking at and he's like, "Is it this lane? Is this the right? Is this the right? Is this the right? Do you think this is the right? Is this the right?" And then we pass it.
See, when I drive with him, I will point.
Oh, he's a navigator.
I navigate. I go that lane, follow that.
Yeah, he's good.
That's why you need an Apple Watch, because when you have your GPS on and you're getting to your exit, it vibrates on your wrist.
Yeah, you think it would be enough to say
gives it gives you a little warning.
Yes, that's
like
good.
You gotta,
That's
I never
good.
knew that.
But you think it would be enough if the screen says very loudly,
next exit.
Next exit. You think that would be enough?
Yes, you would think.
In 0.2 miles.
See, I
exit.
turned the voice off. I don't want to listen to that.
My God. No, but all kidding aside, what a fun show. Bart's Brigade is amazing. I wanted to talk to Bruce.
Bring him on. Bring him on. We had him hang out. Bring
I'd
Bruce
love
back.
to have him come back in.
Hey!
Bruce.
Magic. We snap our fingers.
He didn't get the
I
hotel.
solved the driving problem. I solved it. I'm
He didn't get
sending
the
Megan
hotel
up next
bill yet.
year to pick you guys up. It's as simple as that. She's going to be your chauffeur.
Bruce,
love
I
you
gotta
for
say,
that.
what a great experience. The whole thing was. Everyone was so wonderful. The baked potatoes, by the way. Oh, just kidding.
I didn't have one.
No, nobody had one.
Oh,
but,
no?
But yeah, the baked potatoes were sold out, and I was like, "How did they get sold out? We just got here. How did they sell them out? I don't see anyone with a baked potato, because if they were sold out, you should see a lot of people with baked potatoes."
You're right.
We got to look into that. We got to look into that, Bruce.
They were huge. The one that I had, which was probably the last one, was like this big. It was huge.
The
I
last
could have fed a
one.
family of 4.
What a great everybody. The food was great. People were great. Megan was great. It was just such a blast. That's such a good time.
So in part for me, the best, one of the best parts of the show was after everybody left, and we were done drawing the 50-50, and the guy Rick Keeney, he donated half the money back. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but he donated half the money back, which was $400, which is awesome.
Thank God I didn't win. You would have been $400 shorter.
Exactly. I would have had to pay more. But so literally after we announced it and Rick came up to get his money, we turned around and everybody was gone.
They cleared out. It was amazing. It was amazing. And we had some, like you said, and that's why this docuseries I'm working on, when the show was over and we were just hanging out, we had some laughs. We had some serious discussions. It was great. It was great.
Yep. And that was one of my favorite parts of the show was the serious discussions we had afterwards, because we talked about men's mental health. We talked about mental health for everybody, especially in cops and firefighters, and how we're all afraid to talk about it. You know, be honest with ourselves. And
God, Bruce, are we the first comedians you've ever met? Because we are some damaged people.
Yeah.
Like comedians, if you're a therapist, you should go to open mics.
That's true. Hand out cards.
Clean up.
It is
Yeah.
Funny.
And then the phone call the next day.
For help.
They blamed that on me, by the way. We were supposed to have breakfast, and they left without ever calling me. And then they said, Bruce, you were supposed to call us. I'm like, no, you were supposed to call me. But then I told him I couldn't make it anyhow. It's like, sure, it's your fault, right?
I gotta be honest. I needed to get home. You know, I was supposed to have the grandkids that day. So I wanted to leave at 7 a.m., but somebody's got to sleep at least until 9. Somebody I'm driving home. I'm not going to say who it is. I don't want to embarrass him.
How long of a drive is it?
What was it? But so I wait. So then I said, I don't want to sit here and spend a fortune on breakfast. You know, let's stop at a Wawa. So that's what we did.
And you wouldn't do the second Wawa video.
I kind of got dragged in at the very end. It was like early. It's early in the morning. I wasn't very.
10 o'clock.
How far is York from here?
York from here? How far was York? 3 hours? What was the original?
It said, I think 2 hours and 45 minutes.
From your house?
About 3, and then you started driving, so that made it 5, and then you missed the exit, and then that made it about 6.5, 7 hours.
That's you know what? That's very accurate. That is very accurate.
You were worried whether they were going to make the 7:30 kickoff.
When an Amish guy passes you in a buggy,
I was holding my own for a mile or two. Come on.
York, PA. Let's see.
Yeah. So, all right. So good. We're going to be back next year. Roseanne and John are definitely going to be on the show.
Yeah, don't forget, because I'm going to remember this when I want to go.
Wow. As soon as he gets me the date, when do you think you're going to make the date?
So, I love October.
Right.
But Suicide Prevention Month, Recovery Month is September. So we're going to do it probably like the first week in October, last week in September, maybe.
Okay.
I got a lot of big work to do what Jim was talking about climbing up to the top of that mountain to pay honor. And he said about say their name. You know, we do that say their name campaign. If you look at the back of your shirts, we pay tribute to those who die by suicide. We honor those who die by suicide.
Right.
And so I'm going to do a 22-mile ruck again next year. It's a military thing where we stop every mile and do 22 push-ups. That'll be in September. We're going to do a walk for awareness. I want to get the comedy show as like the last thing, because after all this stressful stuff, now we need to put our own oxygen mask on and get some self-care. And the comedy show is a perfect way of doing it.
And remember, 11/22 is our fundraiser. If you can make it, I'd love to have you there. Like I said, we got a block of hotel rooms. If you need a room, just let me know.
The only thing that might keep me there is I'm going to the DR in late November, and I don't remember the dates. But
all right.
Dominican Republic.
I knew what it was.
This one is before Thanksgiving.
I knew what it was. The week before.
Yeah, the week before Thanksgiving.
And the great thing is it'll only take you 6 hours to get out there.
I'll give you directions.
You guys remember I'm retiring, right? And I told you I bought a police car because I got to do police work. It'll take me 3.5 hours to get there because I can speed right away. I don't have to worry about it.
Perfect.
Not if you have to go into Astoria. Not if you have to go pick Tom up. Right, Tom? Astoria's busy place.
Yeah.
Busy place. Tommy, thanks for coming on tonight, brother.
Man, I appreciate it, Bruce. It's so great to see you.
You too, Tom.
I'm just amazed by your foundation, and I'm just
it was a great
amazed
night.
at what you guys do. It's just fantastic to raise awareness for these things and to not fear talking about mental health, because that's what puts us, where we're not getting the true help we need. As individuals, no matter where you're from, of course. It's a serious issue with military and ex-military, police and firemen, but it affects everyone, I believe, and I think that when you're afraid to talk, But I don't know if did you get to see my movie? Yeah.
Not yet.
We gotta go. We
I
gotta
love
go.
you.
Tommy.
Love you guys. Thanks, Tom.
Look
John.
up his movie, Pancakes and Syrup. To our viewers also, Pancakes and Syrup. I
Great
saw the movie.
movie.
They did a great job.
Great movie.
We'll be back next week with a Halloween show. I'm going to be a unicorn.
I'm going to be Maverick.
And we're going to the diner. Good night, everybody.
Good night.